Thank you for joining me on the Way Up podcast with your host, Geoff Knoll. On this week's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking with Ron J. Spike, a conservative hip-hop artist from the DMV. Ron is also a political activist and an outspoken Republican. The Way Up podcast is sponsored by me. I'm a real estate broker in the state of Missouri, and I believe that this message is worth my investment. Hey everybody, I am so excited to be here with my friend Ron J. Spike. He is a new friend of mine, but we just met in a gas station, so I figure I like to talk to strangers, and apparently Ron J. Spike also likes to talk to strangers. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I'm really excited about this conversation.
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk with you. We did meet at a gas station. I do like talking to strangers. That's hilarious. But for the world who don't know me, I go by the name of Ron J. Spike. I'm from Maryland, but from the DMV, and I've been a conservative, talking point for the Republican Party probably for like 3 years now, and things just been going crazy for me. Things been going up for me, so here I am.
So we had one conversation on the phone since we've met at the gas station, and I asked you then, and you said, well, this is probably a little bit of a long answer, but I asked you, how does someone like yourself get into conservative rapping? There are so many popular rappers that are out there rapping about sex, drugs, and just trash, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
What got you onto this? What directed you here?
So I've been rapping my whole life. I've been rapping. And those points that you just said, I've been rapping about that stuff, like sex and drugs and all that stuff. But the whole crazy part is I wasn't doing none of that stuff. I was just rapping the music that my mind was programmed to rap about. You know what I'm saying? In 2020, when George Floyd died, I wanted to get more serious about my life, because at that point, I was thinking to myself, at that point, yeah, white people are racist and blah, blah, blah. The police are killing Black people. And I wanted to make a difference in my community. So I told myself, I'm going to stop doing rap, because that is part of the problem, is what I'm saying out my mouth. I'm going to stop talking about stuff like that. I'm going to just stop rap completely. And I'm going to go into doing street activist work. And in the process of doing that, I was working with BLM. And I was working with BLM probably for I would say like less than a month. In that process, I realized there was so much hate within that organization that my heart couldn't handle. I'm like, this is not what we should be doing, guys. We shouldn't be going this direction. Let's go this direction, the direction of love. And they started canceling me. They started saying all type of crazy things about me. And then I started looking into Trump. I started looking into the Republican Party, what being a conservative is, what being a liberal is, what being a leftist is. And I kind of just felt like, I don't really like to align myself with things, but yeah, my values fit in the pocket of being a conservative. So I just went hard on that. So I started talking about it, preaching about it. And how I got into the rap, I think it was a calling from God, honestly, because I met a MAGA rapper, and his name was Forgiato Blow, when I moved to Florida. I moved to Florida like a year ago. And when I was out there, he pulled up on me in a Rolls Royce. I love telling the story. He pulled up on me in a Rolls Royce car. He got all these tattoos. He looks like a rapper, but he's making positive music, and I was like, that's me. I can do that. So we just started dropping songs together, and then boom, now I'm a conservative hip hop rapper. So
Yeah, I watched some of your videos with him. Very cool. You guys are doing some really awesome stuff. I feel like just kind of a little bit starstruck bumping into this dude in the Come and Go in Springfield, Missouri, which a little bit about that. So I'm going to tell everybody how we met. I'm making coffee. I don't know what I said to you. What did I say to you?
You said nothing. I brought it to you.
Well, I thought I said hello or something, because you turned around and you came back and you were like, are you from here? I was like, well, I don't live here.
You didn't know what to say at
Are you,
first. I could
are you
tell you
from
was
here?
like, what
I
this
didn't.
guy
Well, I
like?
thought maybe you recognized me. I thought maybe you thought I looked like somebody, and I was trying to figure out maybe we know each other. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. And it's like, well, I'm from DC, and people are not nice like this. This is not normal. It's not normal. And I was like, oh, you're in the Midwest. That is it's normal here. People are pretty nice for the most part. We most people are pretty nice. There's always exceptions, but
Of course.
yeah, but that left an impression on me. I got in my car. We exchanged information right there. I was like, I've decided recently that I need to start networking closer, as I'll take business cards or I'll give somebody a business card, but I don't have a way to get a hold of them. So I added you on Facebook. You gave me your Instagram title, whatever. We got in the car and I told my wife, I said, babe, look up Ron J. Spike. So we were listening to music videos on our way home. I was like, this is awesome. I just met that dude, babe, inside the gas station.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, people in the Midwest, man, you guys listen. So I can't say who I'm working for on this podcast because I just can't do that. But
Sure.
I work on campaigns and I go all around the country and I help politicians run for office, whether it's door knocking, fundraising. And I've been to a lot of states, right? Listen, this place has the most kindest people I've ever met in my life. You all are like, and it's genuine. I know when someone's being fake. No. I'm talking about, I'm trying to cross the street and cars are stopping in the highway to let me cross. I'm like jaywalking, breaking the law. They're like, no, please get safe. I'm like, is this what's in the water out here? Like, people are just super kind. So when I met you, I don't know, something in my heart just told me to just ask this guy. I was like, let me just ask this guy, like, is he from here? Because if he is, like, this place is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the energy. I don't know. And then I was talking to someone else and they told me that this is like a Christian-based community, Springfield.
Missouri is in the Bible Belt, but Springfield there's multiple Christian colleges. There's tons of mega churches there, like multiple thousand people in the congregation. So there's a lot of Christian people in this area for sure.
Yeah. And of course there's gonna be bad apples. I'm pretty sure I haven't met the bad apples. I'm pretty sure they're out there, but
they're there. They are there. Yeah. But that's okay.
I generally gravitate towards good people anyway, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Well, I was like, man, this guy's so positive, and you're doing something that for a person of color, I don't know, I would not say is a popular thing for you to be doing, supporting Trump whatsoever. And I generally, I'll be 100% honest with you, I normally will avoid political conversations and religious conversations. I keep it all at arm's reach just because it's a hot button.
You're smart.
You're not going to say something and not piss off a whole lot of people. But I love the fact that you told me something of when you were getting started, how you had gotten jumped, and you're like, they're trying to silence me. They're trying to shut me up. And I'm not gonna do that, because you care. You want to make sure that people aren't being lied to. So go ahead and talk about that.
The reason why I go so hard, like how I do, is because I feel like we need balance, right? Because the left, and I'm not trying to bash anybody who votes for Biden or who believes in that stuff. I feel like everybody has their own reason, but to me, it just seems like there's a lot of pain and hurt on that side. And they just want to just let it out in the most whatever type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, not in the best positive way. So since I come from that culture and I could see, I really don't understand why they think the way they think, but I have a lot of family members and friends who do, and I come from that in a sense. I need to come to this side and bring that balance, like I said, you know what I'm saying? But I want to do it with love. I want to do it with, I'm still going to be in your face a little bit about it because I'm just edgy like that. But we need to, like, conservatives are being silenced, and I feel like they've been silenced for the longest time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's time to start coming up, because we have youth, we have kids that are watching us. To answer your question about me getting jumped, yeah, I was at a rally, at a Trump rally. I had my Trump hat on. It was a Trump Pence hat. It was one of my favorite hats, right? And we were out there rallying, but BLM were also counter protesting. And I kind of walked into, you remember the whole BLM Plaza in DC?
Roughly.
I kind of walked into that like territory.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh shoot. Like I started seeing all the BLM and Antifa signs and stuff. I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm not in the right area. It's like walking into the wrong hood, you know?
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh shoot. Like, but I didn't want to run, because I'm like, I'm not about to sit here and run and have these people like chasing me. And nah, like I'm gonna stand up for what I believe in. They're gonna have to hear me. I'm here now. God put me here, so let's do it. And instead of talking, they wanted to fight, man. You know, I ain't gonna back down from a fight, you know. So,
Right.
but one thing I want to say about that situation, and for those who are watching, that situation got me closer to God. I tell you, when I was getting jumped, there's a video. Maybe you could post a video. I'll send it to you. There was a part where everyone was stomping me on my back. It had to be like at least 10, 12 people stomping me on my back. And it felt like someone was tapping me on my back with their hands very lightly. You know, my adrenaline is pumping. I'm on the ground. I get up. Well, actually, the police came and got me up. They saved me. But I had no marks, no bruises, no scratches, no anything. I didn't even feel pain. And then I always thought to myself weeks after that, how come I was able to get jumped? And when you see the video, it looks bad, but I have nothing. And it's because God protected me. God literally put a padding on my back. It's like when I fell to the ground, he went, put a padding on my back, and then they stomped me, and God was like, no, we're going to protect this guy. I think I was supposed to die that day.
You were
So,
apparently not supposed to die that day. You were not
right,
supposed to die. If you were supposed to die that day, you'd have been dead that day.
you're right. But that got me closer to God, man. So I just want people to know, like, if you don't believe in God, you need to start now, because he got your back and he's been having your back. So yeah, I want to say that.
Dude, I love it. So you've overcome a whole lot. What do you feel like is something that you can look back on your life and identify, this was a turning point? This is something concrete that I can identify that gave me a competitive edge or made you successful in some area. And it doesn't have to be about money. It's not, success is so big of a picture. There's so many moving pieces that, success in your life, success in confidence or whatever, how you lead yourself, your family. You said you're doing things for you got nephews. You're wanting to role model an example for them. What would you say is something that has made you successful?
Something that has made me successful, well, besides God, but that's a good question. Something that's made me successful is just the people that I meet in this movement. I have good discernment, and I meet some pretty decent, genuine, loving people in this movement, and they're scared. They're scared to say how they really feel, because they don't want to be labeled as racist, or they don't want to be labeled as all of this stuff, when in reality, that's not where they're coming from at all. So I want to be that voice for them. You know what I'm saying? I want to speak up for them. I want to and that's what's pushing me. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you probably know, like, conservatives are being silenced, man. It's like, we don't know it, but it's happening to us right now. And like, nah, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for them, because I don't think that the conservative branch is a racist party. I don't think that's that idea. I don't think it's a racist idea. I think it's a very godly idea. I think these people want to get closer to God. I think these people want to spread the word of God. And that's what I want to do. So I'm going to go hard for it. If I got to get punched in the mouth, cool. If I have to punch someone in the mouth, down to do that too.
Down to party.
But
Coming
at the
in
end of the day,
swinging
it's gonna come
bows.
from love. Yeah, it's gonna come from love, so but I'm
Nice.
really good at rapping. So that's
You
the best
are.
way to do it.
You
Just put
are.
it through my music.
I'm definitely digging the music. I'm glad you've got a bunch on YouTube. So if you're listening to this, definitely swing over and check out Ron J. Spike on YouTube. He has several you got music videos, you've got a bunch of tracks from a album, but very cool, man. So what's something exciting that you have coming up?
Right now I'm gonna be doing a show in New York on the 8th. That's a big show coming up. I don't want to get too much detail into that because then it's starting to get political. But what I will say is they're trying to silence conservatives again. So we got to go out there, and we're throwing a big rally. We're doing a big march. That's going to be a really big show. I mean, I don't know if you can make it to New York, but I would recommend every patriot go out there for this one. But
When is that? When is it going to be?
It's going to be April 8th in Brooklyn.
April 8th. Okay. Very cool. I don't think
yeah.
I'll be able to make it, but I will be looking for posts on your Instagram.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be lots of those. But other than that, I'm also I do a lot of work for the political prisoners. So, I'm pretty sure you know about that. I don't want to say the name, get your stuff canceled, but I do a lot of stuff for the political prisoners. We're trying to get them out of jail. So I do a lot of work with them. I work closely with some of their family members. Some of these people go to the DC jail every single night to protest for their families. They have a bunch of BLM and Antifa, agitators that come out and pretty much say the most disgusting things about the dead and people who are locked up. So something exciting about that is I'm going to go out there and counter protest as well, but it's going to be in a positive, loving way, but it's going to be smart. So that's another thing I got going on.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be antagonistic. You can share perspective, and unfortunately so many people are closed-minded to this is the only way that things work. And I can even relate. I know you and I had a little bit of a different childhood growing up. My dad was a preacher. I grew up in a Christian home, and I am a Christian. I believe in God, but I grew up with this is the only way to believe. Like this certain path is the only way to believe, and I didn't have another option for a choice of thought. So unfortunately, it is an unintentional closed-mindedness to other thought processes, other things that are happening. So a lot of people are so closed off to any ideas. And I get there's right and there's wrong. It is like there's a line in the sand of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and you have to stand on wherever you believe. But I love the fact that you are not afraid to get up and say, this is what I believe, this is what I stand for. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it has its ups and its downs though. Like one of the things that hurt me the most, and in the back of my mind I think about it every day, is the distance between me and my family. I used to be, growing up, I was kind of similar to you. We wasn't raised in the church, but my family, most of my family they practice SGI Buddhism. And I grew up being an SGI Buddhist. So it wasn't until this year that I started following Christ. And but my family, they don't understand. They go very hard on me because they're like, and I'm not talking about just my mom, I'm talking about my whole family. Like we used to go on trips together, spend Thanksgiving, Christmas together. And ever since I came out and saying, I'm voting for Trump, guys, the family went like, phew. So that kind of bothers me a little bit, but I know that one day they will see my heart. But I just want people to know, like, if you are getting into politics, that's why earlier I told you that you were smart for not doing too much into it. If you're not really trying to, this politics world will divide you. It will break you. I get threats. I get people saying the most craziest things in my DMs and my comments. I don't know, man. I just want to tell people that you got to have a very, very strong heart to do this, because it can break you. But I'm still standing.
Yeah. Well, dude, is there anything that you would like to ask me? Any question you would have, or anything that I should have asked you that I didn't?
No, I do want to ask you something. So, how did you get started into what made you want to start podcasting or start doing these interviews?
So I'm glad you asked. And
Mm-hmm.
the pilot episode, you should go back and watch it. I go into full detail of my story, but just the condensed version is I I got sick in 2021, November of 2021, and I ended up on the oncology floor in Cox it's the hospital in Springfield, Missouri, and I was there for 4 days. Prior to that, I had been healthy-ish. I mean, I was overweight, but I didn't have anything medically wrong that I knew of. And so just something came out of the blue, and it ended up, test results came back that everything's fine. I don't have lymphoma or leukemia like they were thinking was a possibility. But whenever I came home, as I was getting stronger, I just adopted the mentality that I have to take control of the things that I can control, because I was well overweight, and I may have not been able to do anything about the fact that, the sickness that happened, I may have not been able to control that. But there are other things that I do have control over, of what I put in my mouth, and whether I have the discipline to get up and work out and do this. Because when I was in the hospital spending a lot of time there by myself, I was thinking about the, I didn't know. There was unknowns that scared the crap out of me, of what if I don't come home from this? I have a son that just turned 14 years old. He's upstairs right now with a mullet. He's had a mullet for 2 days now. I'm so proud of him. It's lovely looking, but he,
So,
I hadn't taught him how to drive. That bothered me. I was like, man, I want to be able to teach my son how to do things of value that are going to help him. And I have spent so much time talking about all of these big ideas and dreams that I have, and I haven't accomplished anything. I haven't accomplished anything of value. The minor little bit of life insurance. I had a $500,000 life insurance policy, and I was thinking, well, if I pass away in this, I'm looking around the hospital and thinking of how much all of this stuff is going to cost. I'm like, this is easily going to be gone, and I'm going to leave my family with debt, and I'm not going to have set the example for my son that I need to. Like, I've got to take control of my life. So I started a journey of just self-development, and that is waking up every morning and thanking God for a new opportunity. Today I have a brand new opportunity to today could be my breakthrough. So I start declaring that in the morning. God, before my feet hit the ground, I want to encounter people. I know you're going to direct me, you're going to guide me. And just making little shifts. I had an incredible year. My last year, I closed like $5.9 million of real estate, which
wow.
isn't the top of my market by any means. There's agents that do way more than that, but it was more than I had done. And so it opened up opportunities for me to help other people, because I could give a crap less about having a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter in life. I want to help people. I care about people. And I have, through the process, I decided that I just kind of fell in love with the process of self-development. And so I was thinking of different things that I could do this year And one of them was I wanted to start this podcast. It had been on my heart for a little bit. I didn't really know the direction I was going to go, but just the journey to success. At first, I was thinking it'd be a real estate related thing because I sell real estate. But my passion is people, and my passion is helping other people. So if I can pull what you do awesome, or a secret that you found that helped you become successful, and I can share that with other people,
Yeah.
then we can accomplish something faster, and we can cut down the learning curve of getting from A to B for just having the information at our fingertips. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm documenting all of these. I'm keeping all of the stuff, and eventually I would love to go through and write a book about all of the different things that I've learned from this podcast. But
Okay.
every single episode that I've had, I learned something. I leave with gained experience. And since I've started this podcast, it looks like I've got 10 minutes left. Okay. Since I started the podcast, I have met some incredible people. It was no coincidence that you approached me and Come and Go. I thought it was strange just because I was trying to identify, but talking to somebody who I don't know, I do that on a regular basis. That's normal for me. But I look at these things and I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity. This person approaching me. This was something that was meant to happen. And whenever you see things that way, I don't know, maybe just having a lot of gratitude, a lot of things that I am thankful for, because I'm blessed. I am blessed, and things don't always go my way, but I can see the positive things. And I can look back to 2021 when I got sick. Something that would be strange for somebody to say, the very best thing that could have happened to me in 2021 was getting sick, because it opened my eyes to reality. I had
That's a
gotten
good way to look
complacent.
at it.
I had gotten complacent, and it gave me a desire to be successful, not so I can have all the cool crap, but so I can give more, and so I can be more, and so I can lead people the way that I was created to. And I feel like you are on a very exciting journey. I'm sure you have tons of people to meet that's just going to continue happening as you are being obedient and doing the things that you feel like you're being pressed to do. I think that you have some very, very exciting things ahead of you, man.
Man, I hope so, man. But I think what you're doing is a beautiful thing, man. As far as like I feel like being a journalist, that's that's positive, because we can't trust the news all the time to tell us the truth. So when we have like smaller, podcasts and things that you're doing, you guys, like, look how we met, like at a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put this information out so people can know what's going on. I think that's very powerful. And I think when you're doing it from a good place of heart, you're going to go up. So I want you to continue doing what you're doing, man, because you also have an exciting journey ahead of you too. So yeah, I'm just happy that we got to meet.
I'm glad that our paths collided, and I would love to follow back up with you. We'll have you back on in some months down the road and just see what you've learned in the amount of time from now till then.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait.
Cool.
I can't wait.
Well, hey, man, I'm excited. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, boy.